Hey guys, it's the Realty Queen, and I'm finally back with my big reveal for the home that I've been renovating in the Junction Triangle. So without further ado, let's take a look at some before and after pictures of what's been done inside the home. So this is what I started off at the beginning, which was the front of the home. I did purchase it in the winter time, and unfortunately I wasn't able to do too much to the front as it is cold, and it was cold when I was renovating it, but it's definitely did something to make it look a lot better than it is now. So let's take a look and see what I did. So here's the front now. So basically what I did here was I ripped out the old chain link fence, which I absolutely hated. I ripped out the white lattice work and replaced it with some stained wood, and as well as just cleaned it up and made it look a lot more modern, and with some black mulch as well. Here's a close-up of the porch. So I took out the old numbers because they looked really dated and put in some modern numbers, as well as a new mailbox, and painted around the door. And definitely looks like a more welcoming home than it did before. So let's go have a look inside. This is what I started off in the front entryway. As you can see, it just looked really dark and yellow from the previous owner smoking inside the home for the last 50 years. And this is what it looked like now. So as you can see, the hallway just looks fresh and bright, and all we did here was just scrubbed it down, put some paint on the walls and a new light fixture, and it definitely looks a lot more welcoming than it did before. Now let's go have a look and see what I did in the living room. Here's a shot of the living room before. So as you can see, it looks very old, it looks very dated, the walls are extremely yellow, gotta love those curtains and that light fixture and those spindles on that wall there. So this is what I did with it. So as you can see here, the living room looks 10 times better. All we did here was just put some fresh paint on the walls and the floor, put a new light fixture on, a window treatment, and some furniture. And I think the living room looks now bright and an inviting space. Next up, we move on to the dining room. So once again, the dining room is dark and dingy, and the floors and the walls were really yellow, and of course there was parquet flooring down. So let's go and have a look and see what I did here. So what we did end up doing here is we painted the walls and the floor, we added a new light fixture and some window treatments, and just really made it a bright and inviting space. Here's another shot of the dining room looking onto the living room. And the house surprisingly is very big and open, even though I didn't have enough budget to tear down all the walls. Now let's go have a look and see what I did in the kitchen. This was a before shot of the kitchen. So usually the kitchen is a hugely expensive home renovation, and unfortunately my budget didn't allow for me to do much. So I did have to get creative in this space and use the existing cabinets that were there. But I think it turned out great in the end. This is the after shot of the kitchen. So after some paint on the walls, a new light fixture, paint on the cabinets with some new modern handles, a new laminate countertop with a stainless steel sink and a brand new faucet, and some stainless steel appliances, I know that's a mouthful, really go a long way here. And let's have another look at what I did here. So as you can see, the kitchen didn't have a dishwasher before, so I also added a dishwasher, as everybody loves that convenience. I also painted the backsplash back and really gave this kitchen an updated look than it was before. Now let's go downstairs and have a look in the basement. Now the basement is pretty low, and it looked really dark and dingy and dirty. And unfortunately, again, in my budget, I couldn't do much to the basement, so I really had to get creative here as well. So what we ended up doing instead was we cleaned it up, we painted the walls white and painted the floors a silver gray and added a new washer dryer, and now this looks like a place where I would actually want to do my laundry. Now let's go upstairs to the second floor and have a look what I did up there. So this is what I started off here with some dated carpet and dirty carpet on the stairs, as well as a dated banister. All that had to go. So here's what I did. We ended up painting the banister a black and white color, giving it a nice modern look. We also ripped out the old carpet, which you can't see on the stairs, and painted the stairs black, and I think that whole area just looks phenomenal. We also painted the parquet flooring in the upper raised part of the hallway and added some new gray laminate floor on the lower half. Now let's go have a look and see what I did in the third bedroom. So this is the shot of the third bedroom before, and it wasn't too bad except for just it needed some updating and some wall paint. Here is a video of the third bedroom as well as the bathroom, as I didn't have a separate video for the bathroom. So as you can see, the bedroom here is a work in progress, and the bathroom was pretty scary, on top of the fact that we had to deal with some low water pressure issues, which I did end up having to resolve, and which cost me a pretty penny as well. So let's go have a look and see what I did in both these rooms. So this is the third bedroom now, and just again, so a fresh coat of paint, some new gray laminate flooring from York Taps, and some window treatments went a long way in this room. Now let's go have a look in the bathroom. Again, didn't have a huge budget for the bathroom, so we ended up reusing the existing wall tile and just painted it white with a special paint called Tile Dock from Home Depot. We put in a new vanity and medicine cabinet from IKEA to give it that modern look, as well as a new toilet and some new floor tiles that are of course gray, and you can't really see in this picture. We also ended up spraying the tub to save me some cost from demolishing it altogether. And I think now this bathroom looks like a place where I'd want to actually use. Now let's move on to the second bedroom. This is the second bedroom. Again, it wasn't too bad, just the floors are old, the walls are old, and gotta love those curtains, eh? So let's have a look and see what I did. So once again, just goes to show what fresh paint does in a room. We ended up painting the walls here, painting the floors that dark gray color, and putting in a window treatment, and now this room looks bright and a place that I would want to hang out. Now on to the big master bedroom. So this is what I started off with, the master bedroom. The good thing was it had 2 windows, so it was bright, and it was also actually quite big for an old home in Toronto. The unfortunate thing was that it had pink and orange frame, and as much as I wanted to keep the trim around the windows, it had to go. So let's have a look and see what I did in the master bedroom. This is the after shot of the master bedroom. So once again, just goes to show, and I'm going to keep saying that over and over again, what paint can do, and that's why paint is my best friend. We basically painted the walls, painted the floor again with that dark gray color, put on a new light fixture and some window treatments, and it really brightened up the space. Here's another shot of the master bedroom from a different angle, and you can see how much light those windows are bringing into the room, which I think is a great added feature to any home, especially this one. So make sure to keep following along, as I'm always renovating something, whether it's my house, my boyfriend's house, or someone else's house. So you can always follow along the progress on any projects I do on my blog at realtyqueento.com. You can also catch me on Twitter at realtyqueento, and also like my Facebook page at facebook.com/realtyqueentoronto. So thanks again, guys, for joining me on this renovation journey, and don't worry, there'll be many more to come. So I hope you enjoyed this reveal, and thanks so much for tuning in.